See you sucker soon on a hot summer day. Coffee comes back in a nerve-wracking way. The dishes and laundry take the garbage out. What a day, what a day, what a day.
Well, welcome to Schenectady, Capital Region. Today, we're so happy that you're joining us today. We've got a great lineup today, lots of new information to give you and great places to go and people to hear about. So we're going to start out our show shortly. Our guest today, we're going to be starting out with the Niskayuna High School Music Department. They're doing the Little Mermaid, and after that, we'll be going to Cap Rep, finding about how the Irish got that way. I can't wait to see that. And then we have John on from the Legal Corner. We're going to be talking about issues of in the legal nature. Michael Diana is here from the Schenectady County Historical Society, and we're going to be hearing about their educational programs over at the Maybe Farm for schools. And then Amy Sonder is here from the DSIC, and we're going to be talking about Schenectady Restaurant Week. Who doesn't love good food? And then we've got, for the first time on our show, Tova Liskey, and she's with Junior Achievement of Northeastern New York. We're going to find out what they're doing, and they have a big program coming up as well. And for our breaks today, we're going to go over to Tara's Kitchen. We understand they're opening up a spa. We thought we'd show a little bit of what they're doing there. So let's see. Let's start the show, and we're going to talk to our guests here. We have Eric Hughes. Where are you, Eric? Hi, Eric. Hi. Eric is the director, and then we have Christina. Where are you? Christina, and you're the vocal coach. What is that? Wow, that's a great job. And then we have students. Let's go here. We got Madalyn next to me, and you are? Dan. You're Daniel, okay, and Nathan is behind. Okay, great. So we have a great lineup, and who chose The Little Mermaid?
I did.
You did? And why, and why did you choose this place?
I thought it would be a fun show, a great family show. We haven't done a big family show in quite some time.
Everybody's mic'd? Okay,
yeah,
good. I just, go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, so we wanted to do something that we haven't done in a while, something different and exciting.
And I understand you've gotten awards for some of your musical.
In the past, yes. We're participating in the High School Musical Theater Awards, sponsored by Proctor's. And we last did it when we produced Phantom of the Opera. And we
Phantom of the Opera, what a fabulous
musical
show. And that's a difficult show.
Yeah.
So let's see. So Christine, tell me what the vocal coach does, and then we're going to hit the kids here.
So my job is to prepare the singers, the soloists, the duets, the trios, quartets, and the ensemble to perform on stage. So we spend a lot of time really digging down into the notes and rhythms of the music and preparing them hopefully beyond the notes and rhythms and letting them come to life off the page.
So do all of the students that are performing, are they vocal majors? I mean, are they involved with the music department?
Every single one of the students we have in the show this year is part of the music department. They do sing in, most of them are in a select ensemble, but not all of them. We have talent all throughout the ensembles that we have at Niskayuna. And in previous years, we've had students come in and we've never seen them before, and they come in, they audition, and
bam,
we steal them and keep them, and it's wonderful. And this year, it's a very tight-knit group. They're really fantastic singers and working together beautifully.
As long as we're in the back row, Nathan, tell me a little bit about you and how did you get involved with it?
Well, I'm in 12th grade, and I've been doing the musicals since my sophomore year. And when I first joined choir, I really enjoyed singing with everyone, and I just really wanted to take it a next step farther.
So now you're doing solos, huh?
I am. I have a song called Positivity. It's a very fun, quirky song. It's a blast.
And what part do you play?
I'm Scuttle. I'm Ariel's, one of Ariel's many friends.
Many friends. Okay, good. Well, let's talk to Ariel. Are you Ariel?
Yes,
Yes.
I am.
Okay, Madalyn here is Ariel. Tell me about did you hear about the part and then decide you wanted that part?
When I first found out they were doing Little Mermaid, I was just so excited. It's definitely one of my favorite musicals. And of course, everyone's dream ever since they were 5-year-old is to play Ariel, you know? So when I auditioned, I thought it would be really exciting to audition for that role, and when I found out I got it, I was just so excited.
Yeah, you're so excited. Yeah, and I'm sure there are quite a few that
oh yes, there's so many talented people, and like anyone would be so lucky to play. I'm so excited.
I know. Yeah, well, I mean, that's it. Sometimes it's just chance that you get the part, and
yeah,
it's just
sure.
an amazing opportunity. And I meant to ask Nathan, are you going in for a BFA, Bachelor of Fine Arts, or?
So right now I'm going to go into education.
Okay.
I'm either going to want to do education for history or music.
Oh, okay, good. And you? Are you in 12th grade as well?
Yes, I am.
And what are you planning to do?
I am planning to do a BFA in musical theater.
Okay, see,
Yeah.
I kind of figured that there's a theme here, the BFA. So tell me, Daniel, about you. Are you in 12th grade as well?
Yes.
Okay, and what part do you play?
I'm King Triton, Ariel's father.
Okay, good. That's a stretch. And so that's what acting is all about, right? And what do you plan to do after school?
I would like to pursue biology.
Biology,
Yeah.
okay. Well, you never know. I mean, you hear about these people that go into engineering and become a star, and a music star, so who knows, how that goes.
I would like to continue theater in college.
Yeah, and you will,
Yeah.
I'm sure. Pick your college yet?
No, I'm not committed.
Or have they
to
picked
that.
you first?
I've heard back from some places, not all, so we're still waiting.
Yeah, you have to kind of watch that. So we want to tell people, it's only one weekend, is that correct? And it's at Niskuna High School, and it's one weekend. So let's look at, and I have the 27th through the 29th, but you do have a matinee on Sunday.
We do on Saturday. We
Or
have
Saturday.
a matinee. Yes.
Oh, did I make a mistake? Oh, maybe.
It's Thursday night at 7:30 p.m.
Oh, it starts at Thursday. Okay, that's where I was mistaken.
Exactly. So we have a weekday evenings, Thursday
Okay.
at 7:30 p.m., Friday at 7:30 p.m., and then Saturday there are two options: 2 p.m., which is our matinee, and usually there's many younger.
I was going to
crowd.
say, this would appeal to the younger crowd too, because it's Ariel. I mean, who does? What's the set? Who does the set?
So parent volunteers, the dads,
Okay.
the kids in the show, build a set. We're renting. We have some animated projections.
Oh wow!
Yeah, we are working with the puppet people in Schenectady.
Oh, they're
We
wonderful.
commissioned
Kerrigans,
puppets.
they're wonderful.
Yeah,
family.
they created puppets for
Michelle,
us. So
yeah.
Scuttle's a puppet,
Indeed.
Sebastian, some of the others. Yeah.
That's great. And the music, is that done by the music department as well? You have like an ensemble, or what do you have?
We do. We have a pit orchestra. It's
Okay.
mostly students in our pit orchestra, and then we do some hiring for maybe some of the more obscure instruments or whatnot. But it is totally by volunteer. They give their time after school, evenings, weekends, and they prepare, and they are just as much as part of the show and a huge important part of it.
Well, education, of course, is so important, but sometimes we they talk about STEM, but they put that A in there for the arts, so it's STEAM now.
Yeah.
And I think the creativity is part of the STEM, and, because the creativity is the arts of that, and you need all of that to make well-rounded students, to understand and to go forward into our new generation, actually. So I want to applaud you for coming on the show, first of all, and telling our viewers about The Little Mermaid, Disney's The Little Mermaid. And we've got Ariel here, we got her dad, and we have Skittles. Is that
Scuttle.
it? Scuttle. Oh, Skittles, those are the things you eat, I think. I'm not sure which it is. But anyway, we want to remind you, how do they get their tickets?
You can go to showtixforyou.com online.
Okay, and I think we have that up on the screen.
Yeah, and then the box office is open 1 hour before each show.
Okay, so you can get your tickets.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
be sure to get there early in case it gets sold out.
We
I hope it's
Yeah.
sold out every performance. There's 4 performances, and you should get to one of them. And I'm going to try and get to it because I think that'd be fun
great.
to see. So anyway, so we've been talking with the Niskuna High School and their wonderful production coming up of The Little Mermaid, and you'll be able to see that at the end of February. We're starting on the 27th and running through the 29th. There is a matinee on Saturday. You'll be able to go. Bring your kids. I'm sure they'll enjoy it. Stay tuned. We've got a great lineup coming up, and our next guest will be from the Cap Rep, which is another theater group. And we're going to find out about how the Irish got that way, so stay tuned.
Tagine using fresh pomegranates, so we'll get started. I'm going to use a medium-sized onion that we're going to slice and put as a base of our tagine. Alright, so here we go. So we have a nice medium-sized onion chopped in our tagine pot, and then we're just going to start adding all of our other ingredients to this. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually put our chicken thighs right in here. We'll use 2 of them. And we're going to very generously massage some turmeric. This is gonna help give it a really beautiful color, along with some garlic. Now we're gonna start adding all of our other ingredients. So we'll start with our vegetables. I'm gonna do 1.5 handfuls of green peas. This is about 6 ounces of chopped sweet potatoes. This is gonna give us a really nice texture in the tagine, as well as some sweetness. And then we have some chopped carrots here. I chop them up the same size as the sweet potatoes so they can all cook evenly. This is ras al hanout, very, very famous Moroccan seasoning blend. We're gonna put about a heaping teaspoon of that in here. This is dry parsley. So we're gonna do some fresh parsley as well. So the other ingredients you're gonna need is pomegranate molasses. It's just a nice thick and strong flavor.
Okay, and that was Anissa Waheed from Tara's Kitchen, making some good stuff as always. I love her food. But anyway, I have Kevin McGuire right next to me, and I also have Maggie Cahill next to him. And she is the artistic director. Did you direct this? You didn't direct this.
I did.
Oh, you did. You directed.
Oh my God, yes.
Not only the artistic director, you are the director.
Right.
From the Capitol Repertory Theater. They're over at Albany at 111 North Pearl right now.
That's correct.
Yep.
Is this your last show there?
This is our last show at our current space, and so it really is a love Valentine to the space, to our 40 years of all the things that we've done at Capitol Rep. And to the Irish, who make up a great deal.
Well, we're going to find out how they got that way.
Yeah,
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Totally.
And Kevin McGuire is next to me, and Kevin's been on the show before. He's been in so many productions, Broadway and everywhere, and we're always glad to have you on the show,
I'm always
Kevin.
glad to see you, Ann.
So what do you
Both
do?
here and at the theater
Yeah, I
at Capitol
know,
Rep.
So tell
I
me,
love it when you come.
What part are you playing?
Well, I'm playing actually probably myself, being the Irishman that I am. I'm actor 1 technically, so it's 5
I
actors.
love it when they actor 1, actor 2, actor 3.
Yeah.
Don't I have a name?
Well, we play lots of different
Yeah, I know, I
people.
know.
We play all kinds of Irish immigrants, and then we play politicians, and we play Robert E. Lee, and it's a wonderful blast. It's a fun roller coaster. I'm having a ball.
It is. It's a musical chronicle of Irish history, of how the Irish came to America. So the cast is made up of an ensemble of 6 actors who play
And they play
every
number.
part.
Well,
and they also play.
I was going to
over
say we want to look at the
Yeah, they
photos because
play
they play music.
25 instruments.
I know, that's
Yeah, they're
amazing when I
amazing.
saw it.
Yeah.
So can we take a look at the photos? Yeah. Well, that's
Look
your
at
cast.
that.
There's the cast. And
Wonderful.
They are an amazing assortment of really amazing musical talents.
I don't know what it takes, but you always seem to get people that can act, sing, and play. They're like threats.
And dance.
And dance, triple
Yeah.
threat.
Oh, yeah.
And
dance.
this is Emily on the right here, and Emily plays 10 instruments.
Oh my gosh.
She's an amazingly talented musician, actress. Yeah.
She is.
And there's a
Caroline-
bartender there, it looks
Caroline
like.
Wheelahan
Yeah. She's,
on the left there. And Josh Smith.
is on the right with the accordion, and that's Lauren Wright, who is a classically trained concert violinist and incredible soprano as
And
well.
sings
they are
beautifully and acts.
just amazing.
I'm always amazed when I go. And who is that?
Who's that handsome devil?
I don't know.
But that's me. On the spoons.
That's a nice photo.
Yes, Kevin plays spoons. Yes,
Yeah, that's me on the spoons. And I'm really
Well, listen,
gotten
I'm
quite good
impressed.
at it.
I don't think I can
excited
play
about
this.
that.
It's hard to play the spoons. It's harder than it looks. I'll tell you that much. But
Well,
there we are.
That's Caroline again. Yeah.
And I understand you're going to have a working bar.
We are. In fact, the set is, it takes place in a pub, and we have named the pub the Old Rep Poet and Tap Room. And
Oh, I love
all
that.
of the decoration on the set is all from old Capitol Rep shows, posters, press,
Oh,
and
this
everything.
is a Valentine.
So it is a Valentine, and you know, the space that we're in and the people who have supported this, they really deserve this. And it has a bar on stage, and yes, there is a spigot, and we can serve beer to our patrons before the show and at intermission.
Isn't
Yeah,
that cool?
It'll be a lot of fun.
This is, I mean, it's sweet. to see something.
It is. It's a love letter to the Irish and to immigrants in general, and how important they are to our country and how important they've been to our country for 300 years. I mean, without them, we couldn't do any of the things
I know.
that we do.
And I mean, immigration, I mean, I'm not going to go into that, but I mean, they add so much to our communities.
Right.
Well, we are all immigrants.
Yeah.
I mean, frankly, I don't know anyone who
Isn't.
Not unless you're Native American.
You know, we're all
That's right.
immigrants.
Yeah.
And it was very important when we started doing this show that we really said, this is the story of the Irish, but it's really about all Americans.
And next week, I have Elizabeth Stack on, who's the executive director of the Irish American Heritage Museum.
Yes, and we're doing some programs.
And I was going to say, I bet you're working with them.
We are. They're supplying some speakers with us, and we also have on one of the performances, we have the Irish dancers of the Capital Region coming and doing a demonstration of the Irish dance that they do.
Yeah.
And so it really should be a very amazing way to say farewell.
I love that.
A real old-fashioned Irish wake. We're going to wake up all the spirits and send them down the road 0.3 miles to our
That's
new
where
place.
You move your new places.
Yeah, it is. It's.
Yeah.
Can you believe it? It's less than a half a mile up the road.
I know.
It's that close.
Oh my God, it's so close.
So we're very, very happy.
You won't have a lot to move. You can just take little carts and move right.
Pretty much.
I'm only kidding.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm going to look like Mother Courage going down,
Right.
North Pearl Street.
And last night, if you were we were reading the paper, but last night we had a big coming out bash.
We did. We announced
and you've
our
got some
season.
great shows. You've even got the Jersey Boys coming.
I am so excited about that. We start with The True, which is the story about Erastus Corning and Pauly Noonan. Then a Wizard of Oz, and we're doing all new musical orchestrations for that. Then we're doing a world premiere called The Way North. Then we're doing a play called Fly, which is the story of the Tuskegee Airmen. And then Jersey Boys, a musical that I know every single lyric to that.
Can we sing along? No, no, we can't do that.
Yeah, you can stay with me.
You can sing.
Yes, when you
and
come,
no one
you
else
can sit
can.
with me. We'll sing.
No, we can't do that. And please don't do that when they're performing. Don't sing along with them. But in your mind, you can.
On the Irish,
Unless
we
they ask
expect
you to.
that there
Oh,
will
yeah, I
be
think so.
singing
I
along.
think so.
Yeah.
on
Well,
parts
as
of
long
the
as you're
Irish.
invited to do that.
Right.
Absolutely. Yes.
There's nothing worse than
Yes.
sitting into a musical and having the person behind you singing right along with the actors, and you want to say, shh, shh, I want to hear.
And can I say one thing? When you
Sure.
come to see the shows at Capitol Rep, I always love that you sit on the edge of your seat.
I do.
And every time you've ever come, this is my 10th show, and you sit like this on the edge of your seat like this, and you watch, and it's so impressive. I'm serious. I mean it. And
She's
you're
into
enjoying
it.
it.
I know.
Or
I do.
You're
I get
listening.
involved. I get
Oh
involved.
my God,
I
I
know.
love that.
It's so fun to have
I'm
you
there.
there.
I
I'm
love
there.
it. I love it.
But we didn't tell them when.
Oh,
when it's
listen.
coming.
Okay,
tell 'em when they can see it.
It runs March 5th. No,
Sixth.
6th through
Through
April
April
5th.
5th.
But listen, it's going to sell out.
I know it
And
is.
we cannot extend. We have to be out of our building by April 30th.
Yep.
We're going to be moving every box in the place the minute the lights come down at Capitol Rep. So
Because you're renting. People don't know that, but you were renting that
we've
building.
never owned our building. We've tried many times to buy it, and it never worked out.
Maybe
And-
it's a good thing.
And
Because
so
now
Now
you
they are.
we had to find another home. So for the
With bathrooms.
first time,
With bathrooms.
yes,
It's going to be
12.
gorgeous.
12 restrooms.
12 bathrooms.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We're very
Rehearsal
excited
and
about that.
dance. Oh,
But for
incredible.
people who don't know Capitol Rep, they won't understand that the situation of bathrooms at Capitol Rep currently is limited, shall we say?
Yes.
It is.
But it won't be from
It
now
won't
on.
be,
So
yeah.
it's good. You're going to have plenty. And not only that, no posts.
No posts.
No posts.
the posts
So
will all be
no
gone.
obstructed
Yeah,
seating.
do you want to say
No
something
obstructed
about
view.
the onstage bar?
No, we just said.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
We did?
Yeah,
Okay.
We did. We talked about
That's
that.
okay.
You know,
thought you did
the one
before.
thing I should say, and because
That's
I
why
won't
I
be
hate to
able to
talk
be,
before.
I won't be able to be on before we do. We are having a big goodbye party on Monday, April 6th. And we're inviting people who have been in several of our shows to come and do excerpts from musicals that we have done and
what a
do
great
lines
idea.
from plays that have taken place the last 40 years. And we're inviting everybody. And if you want to come to that, please come. It's called the Wrecking Ball, and it should be really,
Wrecking
really,
Ball. Oh, I
really,
love that.
really fun.
Yeah, yeah.
And that will also be a very fond and very bittersweet.
There are going to be a few tears.
Goodbye. There will be a lot of tears. Yeah.
But
But
change
it's
is
on
good.
to a new venue.
That's right.
That's right.
Change is good.
Change is.
It's
If we
sad,
didn't have change,
right, sad,
but I
but
want to
it's-
remind you, come see Kevin. Kevin's going to be on the stage. He's going to play a few parts, and there's a bar on the stage, but you can't do it through the show. You got to do it before, intermission, or after, right?
That's correct.
That's it. And then you can help them pack up after that.
Perfect thing to do for St.
See,
Patrick's
I-
Day.
You can
April.
come in April. You can
Come in
right
April
down and help me
and
pack
help
boxes.
us pack.
boxes.
They would
Can you
love
put
that,
over
I'm
there, please. That goes in that box.
Well, I'm so glad you're both here, and break a leg.
It's
I'm
so
sure
great
you're
to
gonna
see
have
you.
a
Thank
great,
you,
great show coming up. I can't wait to see it. I really can't. And I'll be there, I think, on the 12th. I'm going to be there.
Good.
So I'm going to be
Great.
there on the 12th.
Great.
That's
On
when
the
I'm-
edge of your seat.
Yeah, I'm going to be on the edge
Yeah,
of my
we
seat.
can't wait to see you.
Maybe you can even get up on that bar. Who knows?
You might.
You never know.
Yeah.
Belly up to the bar, Ann.
Belly up to the bar.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
It's the
Life's
last,
short.
last event.
time, right?
We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about the legal corner, or at the legal corner, and finding out about some new laws that are coming up. Stay tuned.
I'm gonna add a heaping teaspoon of harissa, which is a Moroccan, North African spicy hot sauce. So that's gonna bring in some heat to the tagine and help balance some of the other sweet elements that we have in here. And to top this, we're gonna take fresh pomegranates as well. This is gonna give it a nice crunch. And what I did was I took a whole pomegranate, quartered it, and now we're just going to pop off the little arils, as they're known. Next, we're gonna add some oil. So I'm gonna do maybe about a tablespoon, about a quarter cup of water in my tagine. So it starts.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm getting hungry looking at Tara's kitchen. Oh my gosh, that food looks so good. But anyway, we're talking to our favorite attorney here. He's on our set. Comes on, and it's John Masicchio, right?
Close, Masacchio.
Masacchio. Okay, good. And I do that every
That's okay.
time. It's so anyway, we're talking about different laws that are coming up. The big one is March 1st, right?
Yes, the plastic bag ban in New York.
Is that the entire state?
It looks like it's going to be across the whole state.
Yeah, because they were saying maybe some counties were going to do it, and then I heard that it was the whole state.
Well, what they have built into the law now is an option for counties and cities to allow stores to charge something like a 5-cent per paper bag fee. So if someone shows up without their own bags, they can purchase a paper bag for 5 cents a piece.
Okay.
Obviously, it's preferable if you bring your own bags.
Did you bring a bag with you?
Yes, I brought a couple for you, Ann.
See, I mean, I want to make sure you didn't
Oh, yeah.
forget here.
Absolutely.
Yes, and this is your Town Ryan is your law firm.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes, and so my law firm is producing these bags to help people remember, about the March 1st deadline, and also to help them comply with the law.
Is that
as well.
all right? Since you know the law, is that only for grocery stores, or is it for all stores? Like if I go into Macy's or I go into, one of the big box stores or something. Like I go into Lowe's and I buy 12 bags of nails or something, or 12 boxes of nails. Do I still have to bring that in?
And that's a really good question. Technically, under the law, it appears that all stores that charge sales tax are going to be impacted by this law.
Really?
Right.
Oh, that's how they determine that.
But there has been some talk about whether it's only going to be applied to grocery stores, maybe not pet stores and things like that. So it's still a little bit unclear as to exactly how it'll play out. But the best advice I can give for right now is
just put them in your car and take them in when you go.
Exactly. Bring your bags in your car, and and that way you've got them, in case you need them.
I've been doing that because in the first place I just, I didn't want a lot of plastic bags and stuff. But it's the idea that we produce so much plastic that is a petroleum product. A lot of people don't realize it has a petroleum base to plastics. So, and then they're on the street and they're in the, in the water, and it's sad that we produce so much that gets dumped.
Absolutely, and so many, there are certainly arguments on both sides. I remember years and years ago when we shifted from paper bags predominantly to these plastic bags, it was supposed to be better for the environment, which maybe it is in that sense.
Oh, because we aren't cutting down trees.
Exactly, not cutting down trees.
Okay.
Exactly. But what's happening with so many paper bags, among other things, I mean, a plastic bag, when it's in the water, can look like a jellyfish, and so a lot of animals, a lot of
the sea creatures.
Sea creatures eat them, and then
they can't
digest
anything else.
Right.
So we're
so
really killing our wildlife.
A lot of problems.
Whereas if they had a paper bag, it would have just kind of gotten through the system, their system.
So there are pros and cons with everything, but reusable bags are certainly meant to be a solution to that entire thing.
Yeah, and
so
I
these
love
are for you, Ann.
Oh, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
The reusable bags, to me, I think they're just so environmentally smart.
Yeah.
I keep them in the back of my car. You know, I try and keep a few there. So I go in, and of course, in the past, I've gone into the market and realized I left my bags in the car, and then I get the plastic. But I want you to know I reuse those plastic bags. It's not one single use. I reuse them. I line, and I put clothing in it or whatever. So I'm always reusing those.
Oh, sure.
Now I'm going to have to hunt for them to make sure, to make sure I got them.
Some people are stocking up on them now, I think, at the grocery store and double bagging things only because a lot of people are saying, where will I get my trash bags from now on when I have to buy trash bags?
I don't have a big trash bag because I don't have that much trash. I'm environmentally friendly when I purchase. I try and purchase things that have less packaging, and kind of get away from all the extra stuff that they put in there. I like to bring it back to the store and say, "You gave this to me. Can I give it back to you?" But I understand that food, when you take out foods, they're still going to use the plastics.
That's my understanding.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's a few that there are exceptions. Vegetables that come in a plastic bag, they'll still be okay there. And
correct.
Also meat, I guess, is another one.
Meat should still be in plastic.
Yeah,
right,
in plastic.
Right.
So there's certain things that won't be. Any other news coming up with laws?
Well, something that a lot of people probably don't know about, but it affects employers and employees alike, and also landlords and tenants, is that there have been a couple major changes to the New York State human rights law, and that is the law that protects people against
discrimination.
Right. Age, gender, race,
sexual
harassment, yes, and sexual orientation, and a whole host of things, criminal conviction status, and a lot of different things. So one of the big changes to the human rights law, which just became effective a couple weeks ago, is that previously only employers with at least 4 or more employees in New York State had to follow most of the provisions of the human rights law. Now, as of February 8th, I think it took effect of this year, now all employers, even with only 1 employee, have to follow all of the provisions of the human rights law. So that's very important for small employers. If it's
that they may not be aware of. Even.
Right. A lot of employers. I've represented a lot of employers over the years who run smaller businesses, maybe with only 1 or 2 employees. Maybe they're even family members or something along those lines. And when the Department of Labor comes in for some sort of an investigation for some reason, they're surprised at all of the things that they haven't been doing properly.
And they haven't been complied with.
And then we've got to try to find the best way to get them out of that situation for the least cost.
Of course they always say ignorance of the law is no excuse, but sometimes you really just didn't know. I wasn't made aware of it. I would have known it if I would have done something about it.
Absolutely.
But that's why we need an attorney to step in and help out a little bit. So what does that really mean? It means that you cannot discriminate when you hire. You can discriminate based on education, that they aren't, suited for the job. I'm sure.
Right.
I mean, that's not a discrimination. It's just what you need.
Right. You can require certain qualifications.
Okay, qualification is a word I'm thinking
right.
of. I'm sorry.
So I wouldn't say it's a discriminatory act to require certain qualifications, certain education, certain experience levels, and things like that. But there are these several protected classes: race, gender, sexual orientation,
Okay.
gender identity, and all those. That members of those protected classes are protected from negative employment actions because of those classifications.
Okay, I'm going to ask you one question.
Oh yeah.
what about face piercings and tattoos? Can you say that that isn't the image we want for our company?
That's a good question. You know, there's been a lot of talk and litigation and some legislation about this. With face piercings individually, I haven't seen a definitive decision on it yet, but hairstyles, one of the major changes to the human rights law in 2020 is that hairstyles are now protected. You cannot take a negative discrimination, a negative employment action, either for a job applicant or for a current employee, based upon a hairstyle, because hairstyles can
be an identity.
Be an identity with regard to race, religion, ethnicity, all sorts of different things.
Yeah.
And so face piercings.
I don't know. I just threw that at you because I figured I needed to throw something at you today.
Right. So that remains to be seen. I think I haven't seen litigation on it yet.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure there'll be some litigation.
There probably will be. Yeah.
Well, we've been talking with John Masacchio, and we've been talking about some of the laws that have been coming up. He's gonna be back again, so if you have any legal questions, you can send them in to me and I will pass them on to John and we'll touch them at the next time he's on. We're gonna take a quick break. Thanks, John, and listen, have a wonderful, I hope you get to see the Irish too, you know, that sounds like a great show, doesn't it?
I loved that segment. I very much want to go to that.
Good. We're gonna take a quick break and we're gonna be talking about the Schenectady County Historical Society and their educational program. Stay tuned.
And on low simmer. Here you go, guys. Our tachine's ready. Take a look at this here. So what you want to do is make sure all your chicken is cooked, your vegetables are nice and tender, and you have a nice thick sauce that you can spoon over a bed of couscous, rice, or eat it with some bread. And we're gonna garnish this using
And here we are back again, and with me I have Michael Diana. He's the educator over at the Schenectady County Historical Society. They've got some great programs coming up, and he's especially working with students at Maybe Farm?
Well, yeah, at all of our
anywhere?
sites. I mean, we have 3 historic sites that we own and operate. The Maybe
The
Farm.
Brower House is one.
The Brower House is our newest, oldest building, built in 1733. But we only acquired it in 2017. We haven't had any school kids there yet because we're still, working with the property, getting it, kind of set up for our purposes.
Figure out how you're going to use it.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions when you acquire something that old, how you want to use it. Right now, we're using it for artist spaces, so not necessarily.
Great idea.
We're super excited. All the cool things they make there.
And it was donated to you, wasn't it?
It was donated.
Nice.
So that's the Brower House. The Historical Society, 32 Washington, our museum, right? That's where we have had more kids than we have had recently. I mean, we're really trying to develop programs for older students there. Like they can go into the library and see the primary sources. Yeah, they can do the research themselves, whether it's an old photograph that they can kind of take that and turn that into a research paper, or whether it's scouring through old diaries or journals and incorporating that into an English assignment. There's a lot of cool things that we've been working with, a lot of local teachers, a lot of Niski unit teachers actually in the recent months. But the Maybe Farm is where we get the most of our kids, and it's a lot of 4th graders, so it's a really fun age, 9 and 10 years old.
You have the education center, you have the barn, there's the building. I mean, you've got 3 places that...
Oh yeah, we got so much space out there, so it's great.
And a little farm too.
And a whole little farm, so they can even see us growing the stuff, depending on the time of year, or harvesting the stuff if they come in the fall. So we have the room to work and run, and whether it's a small group of 10 kids or 130 kids, we can take all different sizes.
You can handle them. Okay, did we show the pictures, Jan? I wasn't sure. Let's run through them one more time if you've already shown them, and I'd like to just have Michael kind of comment on them.
Oh, yep. So these are some programs. These aren't school programs because you can't take pictures during school programs, but these are family programs, which are similar activities to what we do at the school programs. Things like hands-on activities. We have a barn building workshop. This is the bottom right-hand corner there. That's our house tour. The kids are kind of seeing what the Maybes would have lived like in 1705 and how that would have looked and smelled and maybe tasted all those kinds of things going on.
Really.
there.
And I love the tour that I got of the Maybe Farm. It was amazing.
Oh, yeah. And here's John the blacksmith. He's pounding away at the anvil there. He's our resident blacksmith and jack of all trades. And he does a program for the school programs, which is just fantastic. You know, he shows them how to make a nail and how, I mean, metal goods we produced back then. And he's been doing this for decades. I don't want to say exactly how much, but for decades, he's fantastic at what he does.
Yeah, and you have, I mean, there's so many skills that we've lost. I don't want to say we've lost because blacksmithing, we still need blacksmiths. But there's some skills like maybe broom making and things like that, you know, or soap making that people go out and buy a bar, they don't make their own. And those are the things I think that you talk about and at least, you know, make an awareness of.
That's absolutely a theme that we try to introduce to the students who, you know, they've grown up in this modern world where so many things are done for you and so many things are disposable. We were just talking about plastic bags. So while we try to, of course, introduce history, we also want to talk about this more self-sufficient agricultural lifestyle that they might not be aware of, that, you know, back then people would have to do and make all the things that they were going to consume, or at least a majority of the things that they were going to consume.
I mean, there wasn't a market down the road where you brought you got your disposable bags.
Heck, for some people there wasn't even a road. They were way out in the middle of, as the Dutch would call it, the Woestijnen, and if you needed something, hopefully you could produce it right then and there. Otherwise, you might be out of luck.
So back up, Woestijnen means?
That means wilderness. It's an old Dutch term.
Because there's a Woestijnen school.
Yes, there was a Woestijnen school. That whole area by what we now call Rotterdam Junction, the Dutch referred to that as the wilderness because that was, well, kind of 8 miles.
It was the wilderness at the time.
More or less, yeah. I mean, it was kind of in between the European community, the Anglo-Dutch community of Schenectady, and to the west, of course, we had the Mohawk communities, the villages spreading out through west of here. So it was right smack in the middle, and the Maybes were kind of in the middle of these two cultural worlds, at least in 1705. So it must have been a really interesting place to occupy.
And they were on the water.
Yes, very important.
So that was very important as well, whether they fished or whether they just got supplies through that.
Oh yeah, the Mohawk River was the main way of transporting goods, people, east and west. The Mohawk River was the axis around which, the Mohawk and the Hudson were the axis around which the colonial world turned. It was.
And it was before the Erie Canal, because that was
before.
way after that.
That was 1825. This
was the Erie Canal.
Well after the American Revolution.
I do want to also mention that he's a smart guy, I'll tell you. No, I really am impressed with what's in your brain. I went on one of his tours, and his knowledge of buildings and of the community is amazing. And no matter what somebody threw at you, asked a question, you were able to kind of expound on it.
Yeah, I'm very good at expounding on things, whether
you know about them. I'm just kidding. But it's important to know the heritage in our community. Whether I'm Italian, but I love to learn about the Dutch. I love to learn about what it was like when they had the fortress, the stockade, and the French and the Indians and things. I mean, there's so much history in our area that we need. It's a destination, really.
Oh, absolutely. And if you don't make an effort to go out and see these things, you'll never know about them. I grew up in Guilderland, which is just 15 minutes down the road.
Woestijnen.
That's a whole nother place.
No, I'm kidding.
But I didn't know any of this stuff.
It was probably the wilderness at one time.
Oh, I'm sure it was. And I was a little history nerd growing up, and I didn't know about any of this stuff. I thought, Schenectady, that's all right. But it wasn't until I came back and started working at the Historical Society that I realized how much cool stuff, like legitimately cool stuff, there is in our own backyard.
I know. There's just, it's an amazing, and when you started talking about the buildings in the Italian section, that was amazing as well.
Yeah.
And of course, Union College is an old, one of the oldest colleges in the country. Yeah.
Certainly the second oldest in the state.
Yeah.
It's a really cool story.
Probably Harvard's older, I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah. I think Harvard is the oldest in this country.
Yeah, in this country it is, unless we're over at Oxford or something. Maybe that's the oldest one in England.
I don't know about English.
I don't know.
Academic history.
Well, anyways, that's for another show.
Yeah.
Michael Diana, you want to check out some of his walking tours. And if you're a teacher or you're a family or maybe homeschooled, you might want to check with Michael about getting into some of the programs at the Schenectady County Historical Society. Make that part of your where your go-to places, because they have so many great speakers, and join the organization, support them. There's so much going on, and we'll be talking about trees, their Christmas trees and everything else going on. But we try to keep you apprised of what's going on in our community, and we hope that you'll take advantage of some of the speakers and wonderful events that are coming up, and for your kids as well. Michael, Diana from the Schenectady County Historical Society. Thanks for being here,
Thanks so
Michael.
much,
It's
Ann.
always a pleasure to have you on the show. Now we're going to go to downtown Schenectady, and for our next segment, find out about that restaurant week. Woo!
All right.
Stay tuned.
With a salad or eat it just as is. So we'll get started. We're gonna use about a cup of chickpea flour. We're gonna mix all our ingredients into our mixing bowl. Cup and a half of water, some oil right in here. You want it to be a nice smooth batter, so we're gonna just kind of whisk it up. But I also want to add some seasoning into this, so we're gonna do a little bit of salt and of course some ras al hanoum. We're adding harissa right into this. We're also going to put some fresh chopped parsley. It looks really liquidy right now, but that's going to bake and give you a nice quiche-like consistency. So we have.
Well, we had that little bit of food there to remind you that we've got Restaurant Week coming up. And that's on March 2nd through the 8th, is that? Did I get that right?
You did on the first try.
Wow, I'm like, whoa, how did that happen? But anyway, Amy is with us. She's from the Downtown Schenectady Improvement Corporation, and she's going to tell us what restaurants we can go to. And I can't believe the price, $25 for a 3-course meal.
Yeah, and some restaurants are doing 4- and 5-course meals too, so you're definitely getting more than your money's worth.
Really? Oh, that's wonderful. So let's get a rundown of what restaurants are going to be.
Yeah, so we have 22 this year. This is the 15th year.
But you're not just doing downtown, you're also doing the county.
Correct. We partner with the Capital Region Chamber, which opens us up to the Schenectady County restaurants.
I'm
so
glad
places
to hear
like,
that.
Yeah, Tops, Water's Edge, River Roadhouse that wouldn't be able to because they're not in downtown are now able to partner with us.
Okay, that's a great
In addition
idea.
to places like More Parecas and Johnny's and Ambition that are members of the downtown Schenectady.
Yeah. Okay, so what you mentioned a few. How about the rest?
Yes, it did. So we have Ambition, Armando's, Canvas Corks and Forks does a special discount where their usual $35 classes are now $25. Cornell's, Duke's, and Side Rivers Casino, so you have to make sure you're over 21 in order to dine there.
Yeah.
But they do participate.
So Duke's is going to participate for $25?
Yep.
Well,
Great menu.
that's an amazing.
It's a great menu.
Yeah.
Grano, which this will obviously be their first time since they just opened last spring.
And they're right next to Proctor's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jade Bistro is back again this year. Like I said, Johnny's, Katie O'Byrne's, Mad Jack Brewery at the Van Dyke. Mangino's is doing it for the first time as well.
That's nice.
Manhattan Exchange, which is celebrating their 1 month today.
They just opened up, reopened.
January 25th, so they will be in as well. Mexican Radio does 2 menus, so if you have a vegetarian or vegan needs, they do a great job at catering to those people
great to
as
know
well. Like I said, More Parecas is always a favorite. Faux Queen, Pinhead Susan's, River Roadhouse, Tops American Grill down off of Exit 5. We have Tropical Fever Executive Lounge right across from City Hall.
Oh, yeah,
right
that's
here,
a new
near
one.
J Street Pub.
Yeah, they just opened up.
And Turf Tavern, Water's Edge, then of course Zen will be as well.
Wow,
so 22.
22. I was going to ask you though, when I go into, say I call, reservations are important.
Yes, especially for some of these smaller places like a Faux Queen or More Parecas when they only have a limited space. We definitely recommend making reservations ahead of time to ensure you have that table.
Okay.
And a great thing too is you don't have to order off the restaurant.
That's what I was going to say.
Right. So if you're going with a bigger group, there's 6 or 8 of you, and some people aren't exactly sure if they want to take advantage of that great discount. The regular menu is still open. You just don't get it for the discounted price.
Okay. So what I was going to ask though, if you get the discounted price, are there only specific dishes that they offer for those prices?
Yes. So we have all of the menus on our Facebook page as well as downtownschenectady.org. And there's about 3 to 4 choices in each category.
So
some
that gives you like a vegan.
Yes.
And
you can call ahead if you have dietary restrictions. We definitely recommend
they can just
reaching
leave
right
one item out of it
to the restaurant, to see if they can work with that. And a lot of the restaurants are very quick to work with.
Yeah, because they want you back.
Yeah. Exactly. It's a great way. We do see year after year, especially with the survey cards that we hand out, that a lot of these people are going to these restaurants for the first time. So it's a great way to try a new restaurant, a new cuisine, and for a relatively inexpensive meal. For 3 courses, for $25, and you're getting you're getting full portions. It's not like they're shrinking it at all.
Yeah,
You're definitely going to leave full.
Now, I would assume that your beverages are not included in most of these.
Correct.
Just so they know. And if you want dessert, it may or may not be included.
Most of the restaurants have desserts as one of the 3 courses.
Okay.
Not all of them. Some of the Italian restaurants do like pasta course instead. But a lot of them do have a dessert, and that is included.
The important thing is if you want to, and I would say it runs a few days, I guess a week, you can actually go out every night and try a different restaurant every night. Yeah. And but look at your menus first, so you won't, you're not going to be surprised or something, so you know what you're, kind of pick and choose what you might like.
And we really do push the reservations. It's easier for the restaurants to know who's coming, and it's a great way for you to ensure that you can grab your group and get right seated.
Yeah, and get a group together. That's kind of a nice idea.
It is great to see people who will come in from out of town and make this like their yearly trip, because they know that you're going to get a great deal and you get to have a great experience.
And it's pretty common now. A lot of communities are doing the restaurant weeks, but it's a way of sampling without, committing, in other words, you're going in there, you're trying it for a reasonable amount of money for a meal.
It's a great way to support these small local businesses. And we do offer survey cards. We do ask that people fill those out from their waitresses or waiters.
And what does that do if you get a survey?
If you fill it out, you're going to be entered into a free overnight stay at the Landing Hotel with a complimentary breakfast for 2.
And the Landing is at
It's inside Rivers. You can be under 21 to stay there.
Because you go in a different entrance,
but that's a great, we're so excited. We have our partners at Discover Schenectady who are able to help us reach out to the Landing and receive that
I didn't
package.
hear, do you have any at the harbor down there? Any restaurants down there?
No.
No, you don't. Okay.
No, not this year.
Yeah, I'm just, just checking, if you were trying to bundle anything.
And we have some new restaurants opening in the next few months, so we're hoping that maybe next year we'll see a Bountiful Bread or a Nest.
Yeah, Bountiful Bread is going to be going in where Frog Alley is.
Yep, so soon. It can't come soon enough. We're going to be able to smell it from my office. So.
I know, isn't that right across the street from you?
Yeah, 4 steps. We've tested.
It's amazing what's happening to the downtown area. I mean, and Schenectady in general is there's so many improvements and new places and new, what I want to say, new fitting. In other words, they look at a building and then change what they're going to do with it.
Yeah, it's great to see whether it's a new business popping up that they're finally realizing their dream and they're able to open something, or whether it's a business that, like Raw, that took over the building next to them because they're able to expand, or someone like Tara Kitchen who now owns 3 restaurants and is opening a spa. So
the spa is going to be opening up. I'm trying to get it. I've already talked to her. She'll be on the show to talk about the new spa, which it's repurposing that.
That's amazing.
I want to say an eyesore, but as a kid, it was working. They used to bring it in there, and the fruits and vegetables would come out of there. And I remember that the whole parking lot there was a farmer's market at the time, but that was before your time. But anyway, I do recall that. So now it's nice to know that they're going to be using that as well.
And we're excited. We have the $10 million from the DRI grant. So that's just going to do even more for downtown, which is already improving every day.
Yeah,
so
and Pollard has really kind of made that one area just...
The Mill Artisan District, I mean, there's something every night at Frog Alley, whether you want to do live line dancing or they have drag brunches. Or
and next week, I think we're going to be talking, or maybe the week after, about their Janis Joplin tribute. They're having a big show coming up there as well.
There's always a lot of great stuff, and we have the new Gateway Plaza, which is going to be a great space this summer. Pride, Schenectady Pride is actually going to be moving fully down there.
Really? That's great.
Which is great. We have the Pride sculptures up there now. Schenectady Arts Week will return at the end of May into the beginning of June, so we'll be doing a lot of public art activities during that time too.
We're going to include the Arts Festival, or the
Kids Art Fest. Yep, that'll close it out on Saturday, June 6th. That'll be back for its 26th year. It's going to be like an Olympic theme, which is really exciting.
I'm on that committee. I know exactly what's going on. It's so much fun. So, we're talking about Schenectady. Wherever you are, every community is trying to thrive and to bring things into it. And I would encourage you, if you're listening from Troy or you're listening from Albany, sample Schenectady. We'll sample Albany and we'll sample Troy. Yeah. But find out what's going on in other communities. And I know a lot of people say, well, I don't cross the river, or I don't cross the bridge,
Yeah. But it's great.
Get over it.
The entire capital region is really growing, and it's great to support our sister cities and to travel just a little bit, like you
yeah,
said,
and
right
we
over
just
the river.
found out about Proctor's, all their big shows.
Oh, that
coming
was
up.
so exciting last night. We're excited.
Amazing.
I mean, I don't think it can be said how important it is that these shows are teching in Schenectady. What that means for the community and for the
money it brings
yeah.
into our community. People don't realize they're here a month and they're living here and they're
dining here. We had some people from Frozen were writing letters to some of the businesses because they were so sad. They were here for over 2 months and that they wouldn't get to eat their food all the time. So it's really exciting to have that, especially a group like Disney who's bringing back Lion King and Aida to have to tech here to develop and to really like hone the culture in Schenectady. It's wonderful to have that support.
Yeah, I know. It's an amazing community. Amy Saunders, she is with Downtown Schenectady Improvement Corporation. Check it out. Go to their website and find out about what's going on. And Restaurant Week's coming up, and get your survey card. You might win an overnight stay at the Landing. Stay tuned.
Ground lamb that I already have onions and garlic in it. We're gonna just season this lightly. Use this as a crust at the bottom. I have a little pie dish here, about 10 inches, gently oiled that. So here I'm going to put down my ground lamb as the crust. So I'm just patting this down in here into a thin layer. You don't want it to be too thick and then have spots that don't actually cook because we are using.
We are back again, and with me for the first time on our show is Tova Liskey. She's the president of Junior Achievement of Northeastern New York. We're going to be talking about what is Junior Achievement, who gets involved in it, and what's coming up, because they have an event coming up. So Tova, thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about Junior Achievement. Is that for a certain age group or male, female, what? Tell me.
Well, it's for everybody.
Okay.
And a little interesting history is that you just said we're Junior Achievement of Northeastern New York. We actually, when we started in 1953, were Junior Achievement of Schenectady.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
And only served Schenectady School District, was brought here by General Electric.
Okay.
And as we grew, we became Junior Achievement of the Capital District. And as we grew even more, now we're Junior Achievement of Northeastern New York.
Yeah.
At the same time, our program, while we were in Schenectady solely, was just an after-school program for high schoolers.
I had no idea. Okay,
and
good.
so as time goes on and the time that kids and the multitude of things they have that are pulling them in direction after school, JA realized that we needed to be in school, in the four walls of their formal education and what's happening. And we also can't just be in high school. We need to be in middle school. And guess what? We need to be every step of the way.
Catch them.
Catching them starting at kindergarten. So today, as we sit here, we have programs for kids in kindergarten all the way through to their high school senior year. Kindergarten. Yeah, isn't
so what do you
that
do
really
with
awesome?
Kids? Teach them what money is?
Yeah, sure do. So in kindergarten, actually, our program is based upon a story. And so you start with a storybook that kids are engaged in listening, and then you start talking to them and asking them questions about what's happening in the story. For example, a little girl gets invited to a birthday party, and her mom says she needs to, she can go, but she has to do chores, earn money, save money in order to buy a gift. And so without even realizing it, kids are listening to the story. They're learning about earning, working hard, rewards for that, saving money,
and then that's the beginning.
That's the beginning. Yep, and they're starting to identify how they fit in the world like that, to be part of commerce. And
okay, so fast forward. So what do you do with high school?
So in high school, well, first of all, in elementary school, each grade level builds on the concept from the grade before. So
and it culminates.
It culminates. So when starting in kindergarten, it's called ourselves, and then first grade our family, second grade our community, third grade our city. You see how that's building. Fourth grade our region, fifth grade our fifth grade our nation. Once you get into middle school and high school, the concepts start getting a little bit more elaborate. Kids you're starting to teach them a little bit more about what's a business plan. really building that entrepreneurial spirit. What does it mean to start a business? They're starting to learn, more concepts like credit and insurance and a way, the positive
and realize that.
they're learning about taxes and why are we paying taxes? How do you do your taxes after? Why don't you get the full amount of your paycheck that you think you're going to calculate by how much you're making per hour? And they're starting to learn some of those things, soft skills. What it is proper to dress within a job, how to talk to people, communicate with people.
They're
interviewing,
not really with a resume
building
yet,
a resume. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And what skills you need to get a job.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's interesting. I had read a while back that some company was so upset by the amount of withdrawals out of their checkbook, out of their checks, they actually paid their people in cash and took the money out to show them
where it was all going. Well, it's funny.
They just did that once, but it was the idea that you need to see, I'm giving you, this is what you've earned, but that's not what you're getting.
Right. Well, it's funny, we do an activity with kids in second grade that is starting to teach them about taxes and the same thing. In one exercise, they work, and so they earn $10. And then the next exercise, they learn about paying taxes and why you have to pay taxes. And so
if you want to drive on a road, you gotta have a road.
They have to give $2 back and of their $10 earned, and they have it all behind their backs like this, and they're like, oh, no way. And at the same time, there's government employees that are role playing. So you have your police officer and your teacher, and kids are in second grade, as early as second grade, are learning. Well, everybody doesn't need to hire their own police officer, hire their own firefighter. We have these things as a community because of taxes.
Yes.
And so
it's what makes a social environment.
Sure, yeah. So with those $2 they give back,
schools,
they start.
Or schools.
Yes, they pay the salary of the police officer and the firefighter and so forth. And so it's interactive.
It's a rude awakening for many people that they don't think about that. It's like, if you live in this society, you have to support the society.
Sure.
How do you get your funding, Tova?
Our funding comes strictly from the business community and individual funding.
Okay, so you're a nonprofit.
We are a nonprofit, not government funded by any large grant, and we get to take off and go. We have to balance throughout the year, how much program that we're offering to how much funds that we're bringing in.
Right, because you're balancing out. And who teaches the courses?
Well, that is a great question, and a lot of surveys show that that's the best part about our program is that it's somebody like you or I, Ann, that is delivering the program to students, and it's not the teacher that the kids see each day.
So it's another individual.
It is a community business volunteer that's going in and really acting as that bridge between school and work, and giving their own personal touch and feel too. A lot of times you hear kids say, "Why am I learning this? In school, what am I going to do with this?
When am I ever going to use this?"
And junior achievement programs are based upon 3 pillars: financial literacy, entrepreneurship, and work and career readiness. 3 pillars that every single student, when they become an adult, needs to.
And we're losing a lot of that in schools because they don't teach home ec. They don't teach, and I say home ec, I mean, how to write a check and all that. Those things are being kind of ignored, I guess. I don't know why, but it isn't what it used to be. And so I guess we have to step up and kind of make sure. If the parents don't do it, somebody's got to do it,
Somebody's got to do it, right?
And a lot of times parents don't take the time to show their kids how to write a check or anything, or even how to open up a bank account.
Well, it's funny that you say that, Ann, because that used to be a part of our program, and now it's phased out because now kids in 3rd grade are learning about what's the difference between credit and debit. And, what is interest rate? And I was delivering the program to my 3rd grader, my son, one year, and then he said to me, "Mom, do you pay your full credit card bill at the end of the month?" And I said, "Yeah, why are you asking me that?" He goes, "Well, if you don't, you have to pay interest on that." And so, they start understanding it. And
not only that, but you pay an extra fee if you don't pay the full amount as well. I have to just say who's coming on next week, and then we'll finish with our interview. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Next week, we got the Albany College of Pharmacy coming on. We're going to be talking about smoking and vaping and all that good stuff. Irish American Heritage Museum will be on. We'll be talking about the Irish, and not in how they got that way, but we're going to talk about the Irish. And then the My Side will be on to talk about butterflies and Harry Potter. Schenectady Light Opera will be on, and they're going to be talking about a funny thing that happened on the way to the forum. It's a big show. So anyway, we always have a good show anyway.
That's so great.
So how can people, do you ask for volunteers? And if so, how would they get in touch with you?
We do, and I know you have our website. We're always in need of volunteers to deliver programs. We actually have a great collaboration with the business community, so a lot of the times we'll take a company that has a lot of resources, and when I say resources, I mean people, employees, and we'll have them adopt an entire school. So here in Schenectady, we have 5 out of the 11 elementary schools adopted by a corporate entity that come in and deliver the entire program to the elementary school.
Do you have any additional programs for homeschool?
We don't, but we are happy to work with anybody to provide curriculum for sure. But the majority of our programs and the foundation of our programs happen inside the 4 walls of the school. But what we've been trying to do, Anne, is develop programs that now have the curriculum inside the schools, but bring kids out of the school and put them into experiences.
Yeah, it's more important, I think, to do that.
And that's where our J Inspire program comes in.
And that we didn't mention that, but let's real quickly, when is that?
Sure. So it's our first year that we're launching this program, and it's March 17th, St. Patrick's Day. So talk about the Irish earlier in your segment. And that's at the Albany Capitol Center. We have 1,500 students that are coming.
Wow.
Every single, it's all for 8th graders, where they're really starting to think about, what is it that I'm going to do for a living? At some point I need to be an adult, and I need
Junior
to be
achievement. It's all there from kindergarten right up to high school. Check it out. I'm Ann Pearl. You're watching Schenectady, Capital Region Today.